Hi, friends. Hello, and welcome to Estafet one more time with one another founder member of Earth. Tulin has introduced this new member is also very unique in the way she does the regression. She uses kinesiology with regression. She conducts workshop around it. And let's hear what is it? How she makes the things so different, so easy, connecting with the regression. Here we welcome Anita Groenendijk. Welcome, Anita.
Thank you, Shalini. And so well pronounced, my name. I know it's so difficult.
Welcome, Anita. I'm curious to know what is kinesiology?
Ah, kinesiology is a form of healing that has been developed by an actual chiropractor in the United States to ask the body, to actually test the body for imbalances. And then several methods were used that were already there to balance the body. That was Mr. Goodhart, really, that was his name. And one of his students, Mr. John T., developed from that Touch for Health, which was for lay people. They could also test the body in very easy ways to check for balances, and he taught them several ways to balance the body, but not only the body, but also the energy of the meridians and of overall health, really. And that became a worldwide movement. And all the countries of the world you can now find kinesiology. From Touch for Health, a lot of other muscle testing, that's what it's called, muscle testing ways were developed because the body is so wonderful and it tells so much. And there are so many ways that the body can give information that every time that is discovered, for whoa, people start using it and start using all kind of ways to ask the body for information. And the information is not just about the body, but it's also can be about the subconscious, about from the subconscious also about the transpersonal. Uh, it was found out that with muscle tests you can ask anything about anything. So I also learned kinesiology when I was just learning the regression therapy. I did the Touch for Health workshops. A friend introduced me to it. And I thought that was so wonderful that you can just push a muscle and it reacts to what is said and to the circumstances, to what's going on in the body. It was amazing. So I learned all these muscle tests. This is just one of them. And at the same time, I was learning the regression therapy. I also was learning about auras and chakras and all that kind of stuff. I did like 3 studies at the same time. And during the years after that, I started to combine them because with kinesiology, you can also ask yes and no questions to the body, and the body answers. So I'm sure I don't do right to kinesiology this short introduction, but yeah, you can Google it. Anyway,
It is quite interesting.
it is so interesting. I've done, yeah, I have been I kept doing workshops, following workshops, kinesiology, and it was so amazing, all the stuff that came out.
Mhm.
I did not become a kinesiologist. I prefer the regression therapy um, because it's so free flowing. So I made a combination of the free flowing of the regression therapy and the very precise step-by-step protocols of the kinesiology.
With that, I have more question in mind. How do you combine? How do you do it? Tulina said that she's had belief system that you
Mhm.
really have to do hard work to be a successful therapist. But
Yes.
Anita, she knows the shortcuts, maybe because of kinesiology, which she uses,
Mhm.
or her own depth of regression therapy, but she makes it so easy.
That-
So she also wants to ask you, what was the point when you combine these two? And also, is there any way that you have challenges or advantages being an engineer?
Well, to start with the last bit, actually, I guess being an engineer helped me because an engineer is doing things step by protocols to find out the flow of the system and where the blockage and then how to address that blockage. And that's exactly what kinesiology do. It investigates the whole flow of the whole system and to find out where is the blockage, and then there are always ways to, yeah, to unblock it. And of course, most of the blockages come from the psychological world, from emotions, from past life, from traumas from the past. So obviously that is what we most need to focus on, but there are always other stuff too. But with kinesiology, techniques like the muscle test, you can ask, I can just ask about those blockages. Why be shy? Just ask. It's of course I did not have it immediately, this connection. In the beginning, it was sometimes I did a bit of kinesiology first, and then we wrapped it up, and then we did the regression with my clients. But gradually through the years, I just, I started also, I started to learn more kinesiology workshops where actually is the yes and no question is asked. Give me a yes, the arm stays strong. Give me a no, whoa, the arm goes down. And if you
Mhm.
have a yes and a no, you
Mhm.
can ask everything as an engineer anyway. I mean, you can just make categories. Is it black or is it white? Was it day? Was it night? Is it a boy? Is it a girl? And from there, you can sort of focus more and more into the cause of stuff. Like from a trauma, what is bothering you? Does it come from this moment? Does it come from the past? And when it comes from the past, is it this life or is it, and then it's a yes or a no, uh, or is it a past life? Again, a yes or a no, or is it the ancestors? Those are the three fields I ask about. Well, four. I also ask, is it the future? But that doesn't happen that much. So, and when we know in what area of uh, yeah, of the past we need to go to, then I can just also categorize until we are there. Yeah, if it's from this life, is it from before you were 20? Yes or no? Before you were 10? Yes or no? And so we really go there. And it always works because people are always so amazed for, whoa,
Mhm.
7 years old, but that was when I moved house. And it was so hard for me. Oh yeah, I remember now. I was crying all the time. And then, I asked the body, we needed to go to 7. I had
Yeah.
completely forgotten it, they say. But yeah, my body tells me there is still stuff from there. So we go and do the regression techniques we all know and love with that movement.
Especially with the deeper trauma, when immediately the client is not able to connect the deeper layer, then it must be really, really good,
Yes.
effective.
Oh, yeah. For the pre-verbal and precognitive
Mm.
areas, we can just access that way. Also, it's not only asking the questions, uh, getting the information, but actually, when you ask the body is keen to answer. The body loves that finally we can talk and understand it. I mean, the body talks so much, it gives all kind of pains and discomfort. It just wants you to hear it, to understand what's going on. And it's very hard to understand it. I have a pain. What does it mean? I don't know. And sometimes by tuning in, by focusing, you can sort of start to know, of course, there are many techniques. The body also loves this technique. To just ask it and let it answer is, oh yeah, we need to go there.
Mm.
Often we get to child baby experiences, even in the womb, 1 year old, 0. And once we, through the body, we have made contact, we go, okay, we go to the baby experience. And then the mind says, well, I don't know anything about it, but I feel so sad suddenly. I don't
Mm.
remember anything, but I want to cry. And so they, yeah, and then I ask the body, what's going on, body? What is going on? And then I ask, does it have to do with the mom, or does it have to do with the dad, or with the new baby, or it could be anything. And then once we sort of focus, yeah, it's the mom. Okay, so what's going on with the mom? Is it easy to connect with the mom? No, it's not easy. Ah, then more emotions come. And then I ask, this emotion that you feel now, is it yours? And often that is no. Whoa, whose emotion is it then? And then, of course, the client can already guess, oh, it's my mom's. She is so sad because her mother died or something. And I feel her sadness. Ah, like that. So it's poof, you easily go into places that are otherwise you can also get there. We all have the techniques, we can get there. This is
Mhm.
just a shorter and simpler way. And it saves time and it saves energy. I have the strong belief that if you have to really put in a lot of energy as a therapist and as a client, you're both exhausted and sessions last for hours and hours and hours, and it's okay, no problem with that. But my time and energy is limited, so I like to do shorter and more efficient and sessions. It's just as effective. So
Right.
both ways are effective, but I like to think I work in a more efficient way. Yeah. So efficiency is nice. It's good for an engineer
Yeah,
to
yeah,
find an efficient way of working.
absolutely. And how apt this is now for this year's convention. Body is the temple of the soul.
Mm-hmm. Yes, there you are. Yeah. So it is. Well, mm, my belief is actually I'm not a dualist. So uh, the body is the soul. I mean, it's not two different things. It's uh it's not a vessel in my belief, like a vessel and then something comes in. It you can see it that way, of course, and I can also ask questions like that, but it is the atoms, the vibrations of the atoms, that is the soul somehow. I think everything is one somehow. It's hard to really visualize it at this moment, but sometimes
Yeah.
I connect with it and then phew, everything's light and this it is the soul. So
Everything is one. Everything is one. But
this
how do you see body, mind, and soul?
yes, it's one. Yeah, that's how I think.
And
Yeah.
how many years you have been into this combining the two?
Wow. Well, let me do the math. I'm 63 now, and I started with all my studies when I was 29. So I guess that's 34 years ago. In 91, I started with everything, with the regression. Well, it was reincarnation therapy. That's what it was called. And
Mhm.
I also and when I was 30, I think I started with the kinesiology and the aura chakra things. Yeah.
Long journey.
This is my path. I have it easy, I think. Because often people come to me, oh, what should I do in life? What is my purpose?
Mm,
That was never a big well, yeah, after I graduated from the engineer master training,
mm,
I was unemployed for 7 years. I could never find a job there. And then I read a book by Shirley MacLaine, Out on a Limb, and I thought that's interesting. And I mean, she talks about reincarnation therapy and reincarnation a lot in her books. And then I went to a fair where they had all kind of trainings. It was in the 90s, the early 90s. So, and then I somehow got really attracted to the group that's actually taught the reincarnation therapy. So I just started it and I thought, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to do that. And everything went very easy from there on.
yeah.
I just rolled into, the aura chakra. Some woman in my town started to give a workshop. Okay, I'll go there. My friend taught me kinesiology. I thought, oh, I'll go and learn it. It was
Mm,
all, oh, yeah, this is what I'm. So I believe in effortlessness. Everything that's effortless is true somehow. Yeah. So,
mm,
and effortlessness is one of the things of my life, I guess, effortlessness. So also this touch, this kinesiology, it gives effortlessness to sessions. I love it. Yes.
And
But
where do you conduct all these workshops? Because something this is unique. You must be traveling through to conduct workshops, seminars on teaching how to do it.
yeah, for a certain time in my life, I did that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I even went to India, actually, to,
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I went to the first congress that Asha organized.
Mm,
And her group. And there I had half a day of talking about kinesiology and showing it to people and exercising. It was really fun. And I've been giving workshops on all the world congresses, even to Brazil and the first World Congress in India. And and then from there, I got invited to Portugal, and I've given quite a lot of workshops in Portugal between 2004 and 2000, I don't know, 10, 11. I went to Portugal a lot, and then Tulin invited me to Turkey, and from there I went every year to Turkey to give the workshops. Yeah.
wow.
So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to give all those workshops.
And it's fun to learn this technique. It
Hmm.
adds a different aspect to the regression therapy.
Yes, it's fun to teach. Also, I love it. But there's always another side,
Mm-hmm.
because this method really fits with me and my engineer mind.
Mm-hmm.
I have noticed that even though it's really fun to learn for everybody, um, that most of my students did not start to use it in their practice. I really wondered, why not? It's so effortless and easy, but it's for me. And also for Tulin, who also is an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I guess you do need a bit of an engineer mind
Mm-hmm.
that can switch easily between the oh, if this then that and if that then that and category thinking. Actually, it's a left brain way of thinking, actually, to have logic. Okay, I'm gonna use logic, if this then that, and then and that's so easy for me. And then at a certain point, you have to let go of the logic and just let it just come, intuition and whatever comes. Or
Mm-hmm.
combine logic, intuition, let them both do their thing at the same time. And that's the right brain half. And mm, so many of the regression therapists have very strong developed right brain half, which is enough, really. I mean, if you have intuition, if you have empathy, you can do everything. So, yeah, that works. the effortlessness of adding the kinesiology, you do need to have also easy contact with the left brain half. And that's not so easy for everybody. I mean, it looks easy, it looks effortless, but it's not so much.
What I hear from you is it's science as well as an art.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
So
for science, you need to do the logical thinking. For the art, you need to let go and let the, yeah, let the intuition work.
your fear or what have been your challenges as an engineer when for the first time you came to learn the art of regression therapy?
Um, did I have challenges? Yeah, to trust the process. This trust is something you just have to learn. I mean, with trust, you you can say, okay, trust it. Wow. I mean, trust is not something that is just there. Trust has to be sort of learned by experiencing. So you can only trust the process by experiencing time and time again that, yes, things come at the right time and at the right moment. So I guess trust in the process was could maybe have been an issue. It's so long ago, I'm not sure anymore. But that's the thing that comes up now. And it I mean, in the beginning, I did not have the kinesiology. I just had the just let it come. What's the next thing that comes? And just let something come up and let's see what happens. And I that was the only thing I had then. And I was always a bit scared that nothing would happen. Or we wouldn't go to the place where we had to go, but to some distraction of the mind. Because of course, when you are uh, the people who are attracted to being an engineer, they have strong minds and they have logical minds also. So yeah, when the client is going to their mind and to their head, my empathy is also strong. But what happens with my empathy when I'm with a client who's really curious and logic, and I go there too. So here we are both, yeah, and then, but of course, you have to really go back into the body for real change, not just mental stuff going there. Well, it's so interesting.
Because again, at the end, it's one.
Yes, of course. We do have two separate brain halves, but we have one brain. Yeah.
Anita, I would like to hear any of the most interesting session,
Well,
maybe where you think that where kinesiology has helped you to reach the client where he needs to, what she needs to reach.
well, I have worked a lot with also physical issues, even with colleagues. There was a colleague who had a lifelong history of back pain. And of course, she worked a lot with regression on that, of course. I mean, a colleague, right? But somehow it was still there. And during an annual convention, I did a demo workshop with her. And with the muscle test, we could go to a life. It was a past life where she actually broke her back. And not only that, but she was so ashamed and feeling guilty about what happened there that it was blocked in the normal way to get there. And sometimes it's like that, you want to go to the source of something that's not finished, but you just somehow never really get there. And often there's shame and guilt in the way. It's sort of the ego makes a diversion and then something happens. So in that past life, what turned out, she was rock climbing with her brother, and she was the top one, and the brother was the lower. And at certain point, she makes a mistake or something happens, and she falls down. She falls down and actually falls down on top of the brother, like
Mhm.
steps on his head or something. And that also makes the brother lose his balance. And they both fall down and die. So she just felt so bad about making her brother fall that she was not concerned with her own injuries or death even. She was just so guilty. And so she stayed also, it was of course an unconscious death because she died before even reaching the floor, I think. There was a lot of bumping on the way. And the back was probably the thing that she felt last and before losing consciousness. We could ask a lot of things through the body with the muscle testing.
Yeah.
What is this? So through muscle testing, the story became clear. And every time we got some information through the muscle test, her body really reacted a lot. There was a lot of physical stuff going on. Her mind didn't know that much, but we figure puzzled the whatever happened. She had also at certain point the emotions, and we could also discharge those emotions. And also, her and her brother, of course, were very intertwined, the energies, you know the drill. And the brother also did not know that he died, but he sort of connected with an animal, a wolf that was there.
Mhm.
And well, it took some time to really puzzle it out and all. Well, that was the normal regression therapy ways, of course, that you know of and the lookers know about. So, and in the end, she felt so good and the backache was gone. The lifelong backache, right?
Amazing.
And that evening in Germany, when we had these spontaneous dancing in the evening, so there was, and she was like really fluently dancing, and she was so happy because she normally couldn't. And
Mm.
she even, and I asked her a couple of months later, how is it now? Wait, I was looking to her, how my back is now. I feel feeling pretty good, and my body is healthy and strong at the moment. The main pain is gone, so not all of it. I'm walking nearly every day, and while doing it, I feel more power in my body. I feel the integrated sport lady. I feel like there are more muscles and more strength in me. When
Mm.
I walk uphill, I'm not as exhausted as I was before. And a
And
lot
that's
of other things she still told me. But so apparently, through that muscle testing, it's really easy to get to also the physical source of physical complaints. And
it.
so I thought that was a nice example, right?
It is, it is. And I would say, what a gift to that lady. Anita, you have been the founder member of Earth.
Mhm.
How your journey have been as a Earth founder member, as a member, and how do you see Earth as in years to come?
Ah, okay. Well, I know more about the past than the future, like so many regression therapists, but well, um, as a founder member, I remember one of the first things I did for Earth. Well, that's where I met Tulin, and that started a lifelong friendship, and Yasemin, and many others there. And uh, I think I immediately got into a committee. I mean, to be really connected with Earth, go into a committee and then you're so much, well, you are in this committee, I'm sure, doing so much. It's so really nice. You really become a part of an organization when you do something for that organization, then you feel you are a part of it. And then
Mm.
it's not the organization does this and that for me. No, I am the organization. Again, it's all one. And as long as you behave as a separate entity, you don't get everything that there is to get. Anyway, the committee I started with was we called it first schools committee or something. And later it became, I even forgot the name, college. It later became the college committee. So in order, I went into that committee because there were quite a lot of people who wanted immediately to get a lot of criteria and for new schools so we could be very professional. There were schools and organizations we knew that were working with regression and therapy and reincarnation. So that was a happy bunch, the pioneers. And I know from experience, there's always a happy pioneer phase in every organization where a lot of energy flows and a lot of exchange is possible. I was for a long time in that committee. So that was great. And I really could, I'm a bit of an anarchist. I think just give freedom and wonderful things exist and we learn from each other. And others say make rules. And then after a year, and then it's better. And Hans asked me if I wanted to join the board. It took me some time to think it over and to feel if I wanted that because to be in a board, you also have to be more with rules and stuff. Funny thing, I work with protocols and rules, but okay. Uh, yes, I went in the board and I stayed for 6 years in the board. Yeah, it was a really nice time. I loved doing the winter meetings with the board in the winter. We went to the place where would be the annual convention or the World Congress. We went there. Well, it was great fun and a good time and a lot of friendly fighting. Me against the rule people all the time, always. Anyway, so in organizations, I'm often the person who is there the least. So if it would have been an anarchist group, I would be the one, hey, let's make some rules.
Yeah, because then you complete it. Again, it's one.
Yeah.
Combining the
If
two.
if it's a group, we have to make rules. I'll be the anarchist. That's one.
That's true.
I want the balance between the yin and the yang.
Yeah.
I don't only want the yang,
So that means I would put it that you're not anarchist. You're the balancer.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Like you have a seesaw,
Yeah.
there is
Sure.
the center hub.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this side or that side, you'll balance it.
That's
And
how
quite
I like to see it. Anyway, so after 6 years with it, I was sad to leave, really, because it was so nice. It was a family, but also it was good to give it to new people. After being in the board, I kept going. I stayed in, oh, I was in another committee, the research committee, for many years, many years. And also in the college committee for many years, really more than 10 years, both.
What is your message for the Earth Association now and for the fellow therapists, especially the beginners?
Well, apparently, well, from when I listen to what I just said, I would say balance. So don't just go for the rules. Don't just go for the free flow. Make room for both. And if you make a board, let in that one anarchist or weird person, or maybe not too many, just one, but let one of them be the outlier because that will really enrich the energy.
So, Anita, whom would you invite next for the
Well,
estafette? Because we are almost nearing the very beautiful conversation with you.
it's Maria Angelina, of course. Maria Angelina Pereira. She is so wonderful. Everybody knows her, I think. She has also given wonderful workshops, also 2-day workshops. And she has so much knowledge. She is a psychiatrist. Um, and and she knows also a lot about psychosomatics and about the interaction between the body and the spirit and the body and the emotions. She is
Mm.
so knowledgeable,
Mm.
and it's so wonderful to listen to her and to speak with her. I'm sure in an hour you will not be finished with her.
And what do you recommend we should ask her?
uh, I'll just ask her to talk and good stuff comes out. I'm sure of that. Well, ask her about, well, you know, all her workshops have been recorded, so they can, of course, be bought and downloaded. So, but you could ask her again the connection between the body and the spirit and physical problems and the emotions. You can ask her if she combines psychiatry with regression therapy, if she does it, or if it's two separate things, or if she makes combinations for her clients. Also, there she has also wants to sort of continue the knowledge. Does she already teach? I think she has done a lot of stuff. Yeah.
It's really interesting.
I mean, it's so interesting to talk with her.
And it has been very interesting to talk to you as well, Anita. Before we end, I would like to know the background you have on your camera.
Yes, the background. Yes, I made that background with Tülin. I mean,
Yeah,
one of the many times I've been to Turkey, uh, we often sailed together. We sailed together, and she has a wonderful boat and husband, and we sailed. And this is one of the places where we came. It's such a magical place. It's Turkey. So you can find this at the annual convention in case you're flying. You can find this kind of landscapes there. It's so wonderful.
that's really interesting. Thank you
Yes.
so much. And
Okay.
dear viewers, I enjoyed the conversation with Anita.
It's so nice. Thank you, Shalini. Bye bye.